Are we stepping? I think we're stepping.
We're stepping. It's a Wednesday. We're stepping.
Right? And it's lunchtime and it's the vibe with your boy Jay.
And your girl Blanca.
Well, how have you been,
And we're
babe?
halfway to the weekend.
Right?
Right?
What better way?
Right.
What better way? So we hope everyone has been having a fantastic week thus far. It's us. We are here on 97.2. This is the vibe. And as you might not have known, we're new to the, Kofifi FM family lineup, and we are going to be bringing you some amazing things. Well, today is pretty much marred by controversy. Marred. Really, really marred.
Marred. I like that.
Yes.
Using big words out here.
And quite interestingly, we just listened to Mr. R. Kelly.
Right. And if we know anything, R. Kelly has been trending for all the wrong reasons.
Yet again. Not so much for the music, which is so heartbreaking because I think he's such a talent.
He really is a talent. But R. Kelly seems to have a problem when it comes to the ladies.
Yeah, those sticky fingers.
Yeah. So word on the street is that R. Kelly is, it's an allegation, right?
Still
But
alleged.
that R. Kelly has a cult of young women that he travels with up and down, I think, between his home bases in Atlanta and Chicago.
What?
Okay, but one thing we do know, they're all over, 18? What's legal age in America?
Yeah, it's
18?
18, yeah.
Yeah. So basically the story is this. One of the girls posted a video on Instagram, it was, basically saying that she's fine, she's okay, she's happy, she's healthy, because her parents haven't seen her in 2 years.
What?
When she was 19, R. Kelly took her under his wing as his protege. And her mom is like a typical momager. She was very hands-on, and she says she felt quite safe and secure with her daughter, leaving her daughter in R. Kelly's care basically, as his protege, because she thought this is the beginning of something great.
Yeah.
Long story short, mom hasn't seen her child in 2 years. They worried. They can't file a missing persons report because she is 21 and it's her choice. But they said when they saw her, she looked like she had been brainwashed.
What?
She
But okay. Here's my thing, Blanca. I mean, we have parents. You know how our parents are. Parents will always be concerned. Like, what is wrong with my child? What is going on? Why are you looking so thin? But these are clearly responsible people, because if you're over the age limit, you can pretty much do what you want with your time and with your body with, consent. If you agree as a woman that I am happy to do this, then you can do it. Second point, how do you as a parent wait a whopping 2 years until you see your child? I mean, unless they're like abroad and they're on some kind of a studying program, then it makes sense. But you don't wait until that late. Then you say, baby, you're looking so different, like you're possessed. You know how our parents are. Parents can be a little hectic.
I presume her parents thought she's busy and she's on tour with R. Kelly as his protege. And they eventually realized that every time we reach out to our daughter, we can't seem to find her. And also, mind you, people that have been part of R. Kelly's camp, some of his staff that have left, have come out and said, actually, he does have something that's like a cult of sorts. And they were saying that he actually has 6 young women that he travels with. And he's extremely controlling. He basically controls every aspect of their lives, but in the worst way possible, because he decides when you eat, what you wear, when you bath, and when you sleep. Right?
That's scary. Okay,
So
that's scary. But I don't know if this begs, this then begs the question, are you not without a choice? Because, you walked into this thing with a choice, and I'm assuming you have the choice to leave as well. So I'm of the assumption that they are enjoying the idea of being in the presence of someone like an R. Kelly.
I don't know about that.
And
I think
yeah.
we can't ignore the fact that this individual has a history of questionable behavior when it comes to women and all those sort of ongoings that we know. We remember, if you're old enough, you remember the Aaliyah saga.
Yes.
You really do. So I don't blame the parents. And I'm like, listen, I think R. Kelly needs to let the girls go. Bring back our girls, R. Kelly.
And by the way, remember there was also the video that got leaked of him basically urinating on a girl, a young girl. And then he was interviewed and they asked him, you do recall that, there's been conversations about you and this video was leaked of you urinating on a young girl. How do you feel about it? He's like, well, what is a teenager? What do you mean?
You see, I think he has a little bit of a skewed idea on a lot of things. It's quite worrying. It's really worrying to me.
It's really, really worrying. And there's a lot more interestingly worrying conversations we're about to have with you. It's your boy Jay and your girl LeBlanc, which I know you love that name, on Kofifi FM right here on 97.288.
As ek vandag daai op doel sien nie, ander kry. draai ek sy nek om.
Awe masakan, hoe lyk het?
Nee, is gedaan.
Kykie, wat lyk dit so af vandag, ou bro?
Nee, die ding is die, my bro. Ek is nou mooi fed up vir jou liegstorie.
Nee, my bro, as die liegstories, man. Weet jy wat het gebeur nou met my?
Flash. Yes, it is 13:24 on 97.2 Kofifi FM. Yes, hot topics right here on the Vibe. So, we're always dealing with some controversies. We're going local this time around. Mr. Brian Molefe, Eskom head. Or is he still? Or is he not?
Or is he not?
What is going on here in South Africa? The gentleman received, or as it had been reported thus far by a lot of publications, that he received a pension package or / golden handshake, or thank you so much for being our CEO, of 30 million rands.
Obscene.
Right?
Obscene and undeserved.
Quite interestingly. So, I mean, and this was obviously, the payment was made out nonetheless, despite, the public protector having proven that he had been kind of chums with the Gupta Inc., group. They're taking over Mzansi like crazy. So, obviously, there's been a lot of conversations around that. But, I mean, Blanca, there's a 30 million notification in your account from the bank. What do you do?
Well, I guess if you're him, you're gonna get on your first flight out to Dubai.
I'm out, bruh.
And shasha in Dubai. But here's my issue, right? Doesn't it look like we reward bad behavior?
I've got a theory.
Yeah.
My theory, and it's controversial, and I mean it's always up for discussion. My theory is that historically in South Africa, black folk weren't quite exposed to platforms that kind of allow us to have some level of power. And think about it. If you've never really, I'll use myself as an example. I didn't really earn that much until I was hired to work at a luxury boutique store. And, having gone from making 3,500 a month to making 12,000 plus commission, I squandered that money. I went berserk. And, because it was a boutique store, then we would start, you'd buy a luxury item, then you have 3 months to pay it over, and it's at 50%. You've never had access to money. I using myself as an example, I never really had an understanding of the value of money or the value of, some level of power that you have. Because when you have money, there's some level of power that you have. And that's a level of influence to a certain degree. So I think because of a lack of understanding of the use of power, the use of, understanding of politics, that politics is really about the people. It's not always, there's a selflessness involved and when it comes to being in politics because you're for the people, So I honestly think because we never had the exposure, we are kind of abusing our power.
But for me, there's something fundamentally different, right? Between squandering money because you haven't had access to it in the past and being highly corrupt.
Yes.
Right? And I like that you said that he has a duty, right, to the people.
Yes.
Because you represent a government body.
True.
So those hang-ups where you say, I haven't had access to these things and I don't know how they work, and that doesn't fly when it comes to Eskom and keeping our lights on. And no, I'm sorry. I can't.
Yeah. And to quote the Daily Maverick, they posted something like, and I quote, newly leaked emails indicate that Molefe started planning the feathering of his retirement nest at least as early as a year before, in November 2015. 2 months after he was employed by Eskom on a fixed 5-year contract. So
he knew the deal. He knew he had already
a while ago
secured his get out of jail card, go straight to
in inverted commas retrenched. Meanwhile, knowing back at the ranch that you are a bad boy. So I honestly think maybe that could be it, and I think because we have a group of people who have the means, the Guptas, they realize that this is the behavioral tendencies of people in power in this country. So how can we wage a war between them and the people, you know. And as a result, I'm seeing it's starting to create a lot of conversations among us to say, come on, y'all. You know, we fought so hard to make sure that we are in positions of influence and power. We should be able to be the people who empower also the people around us.
And be better than this.
Jeez.
Can we really be better than people really ineffectively running these institutions and getting enormous handshakes, golden handshakes for doing squat?
We can really, really only hope, because already this power utility is cash strapped, okay? Because further, again, you know, the Daily Maverick, I quote again, they say the severely cash strapped power utility further paid Molefe a performance bonus of 97,537,044. Okay, I like the 44. I need some data, Mr. Molefe. This thing is becoming a luxury.
They could have just given him a round figure.
You know, might as well cut to the chase,
well.
you know. So, and it's unfortunate because this is backdating as far back as April 2015. So he's been getting that guap. He's been getting that guap. So here's really, really hoping things will turn out for the better. But I don't even know what the solution would be, because already you've got employees that are complaining. You've got, you know, the public that are complaining. I wonder what the, you know, strategy would be, because media-wise and PR-wise, it's just a nightmare.
It is a nightmare. Can they stop playing with my tax money?
Hey, you know, we need that money. Come on, Mr. Mlefe, you know, we could use some guap.
All right. If you just tuned in, you're on Kofifi FM 97.2 on The Vibe with Blanca and Jay.
Welcome.
Jay, hoe lyk dit my? Jay staan net rond en praat stront as die kwaras, ouwe.
Yes, like it, man. Nee, damn it, man.
Ouwe, maar ze kan wat gaan aan?
Oh, broer, ek soek my 100 rand van my stoot sien, hè.
Hoor jy my, broer? Weet jy wat gebeur moet gaan tip? Ook gaan tip gaan maar by 'n gym toe huis in en vra vir die meisie, hoeveel is dit 'n uur? En die girl sak af 100 rand. Nou vraag gaan tip, sal sy colored style doen met my? Nee, sê sy. Okay, right, sag het gaan tip sê, ek geef jou 200 rand vir colored style. Wie sê sy, nee, want sy weet nie wat is colored style nie.
Kyk, jy hebt doodsie. Vandag moet sy nie sikkel my nie, ne?
Right, luister man, luister. Wag. Gaan tip sê, okay, ek geef jou 300 rand. Wat sy sê, nee. Okay. Wat as ek vir jou 500 rand gee vir colored style? Sy dink op iets haar oor en sy stem toe in.
Ag nee man, yes, like it.
My broer nou het tip. Vir 'n uur is hulle besig, my broer. Al die styles en posisies. Maar die girl sak af. Dat was wonderlik, ja. Wat ek iets weird en disgusting verwag. Waar kom die colored style dan in? Ek betaal jou einde van die maand.
Man, I want to know what's going on. Good news, Mugabe has decided that he will retire. The catch is in the year 2023. The dude is 94 and he's planning on retiring after 6 years. He will be 100. My grandfather retired when he was 90 and he picked up a hobby, pottery, and that was okay. But now when you're 100 and you retire, the only hobby you can pick up is breathing. Because one thing's for sure, Alzheimer's and calligraphy do not go hand in hand. With Trump as president, a question remains. Do billionaires make good presidents? That's a question for Zimbabweans to answer. I think I might give away $1 billion today. Isn't that right, Zimbabwe? Billionaire status? No, you're still broke.
Hey, Jay, hoe lyk dit my? Jay staan net rond en praat stront as die kwaras, ouwe.
Yes, like it. Vandag maak ek daai op doodsie frik.
Ouwe, maar se kan hoe lyk dit?
Nee, lekker, right, bro. O nou net, ne? Vandag, ek smaak niks van jou nonsens, ne?
Nee, maar se kan, man, moenie so visie. Is 'n lekker enetjie vir jou, man.
O, bro, try jy nou my kop omkrap met 'n koeldrink?
Kijk, wat die in het my bro. Die prase diere woestijn. Hulle raak oor doos. En een van hulle maak 'n plan. En hy verdwyn en kom terug met ys. Die manne was nog as ooruit gelukkig. En hulle drink laat het spat. Na 'n uur is die ys klaar en die bottels is nog by je.
Ja, Abdulsie, die storie einde.
Ja, maar se kind. Hulle vra vir hom om nog 'n plan te maak. Hy braas staan toe op en sê, "Nee manne, wil julle hierdie deadbories moet vrot raak?"
Nee, demat man Abdulsie. Gaan net uit die sa. En vat sommer jou koeldrink saam ook.
Ese papa pasta curante, man. I want to know what's going on. Good evening. South Africa has witnessed the 8th wonder of the world, the State Capture Report, which the website saw more traffic than Grayston Drive during peak hours. Beyonce's Lemonade album did not get as much views as Tuli with the Good Hairs State Capture Report did. She wrote about 300.
Welcome back, Kofifi listeners. You're still on the vibe with Blanca and Jay. And you know we love hearing from you. We want to hear your feedback, your opinions on everything we've discussed on the show thus far, whether it's Brian Mulifi's Golden Handshake, R. Kelly's Cult of Girls. So drop us a line on 071-425-9577 or tweet us, message us on Facebook, Instagram us. Let us know what's up. What's cooking with you guys?
Let us know. It's so interesting. We just played Loyalty by Rihanna and Kendrick Lamar. Well, Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna. Here's what's interesting. You know, speaking of loyalty, Blanca, I'm just curious to know what is the level of loyalty in terms of, you know, politics. I mean, we're still on our hot topic. So I'm just very curious about something. So yesterday, we, you know, obviously in commemoration of our greatest political icon, Mr. Nelson Mandela. Obviously, we've now, you know, there's been an introduction of 67 minutes in terms of what you as an individual or you as an organization can do to kind of contribute to the welfare of society in South Africa in whatever way that you can. And obviously, you dedicate 67 minutes of your day. I saw a very interesting Facebook post on one of my friends, Thabo Mafisa. He was saying that he finds it so interesting that, you know, corporates will say, okay, let's go to these groups of shacks and let's go paint them. Let's just repaint them, and then we'll say, yay, 67 minutes done. Let's go back to our respective offices. To what degree do you think we as a society or as a country can, you know, contribute to, like I said, the welfare of our society? Because, you know, the complaint is that, well, you think you just painted my house, my shack, not even my brick house, and you want to tell me that, you know, that's 67 minutes of your time and then we'll see each other again next year?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What
I
are
have
your
a
thoughts?
huge issue with it. You know, sometimes actually it rolls around every year and you see all these posts, right? They flood us on social media, these big corporates with huge funds. I can't help but wonder, right? Whose benefit is it for actually? Who benefits the most from them bussing themselves out to, you know, whichever area, painting these things, handing out meals for a day? Who benefits from that?
It's a PR
I have a
campaign.
huge issue with it. My thing is we should actually put pressure on, particularly the ones who benefit a lot from us, right? We should put pressure on them to be more consistent. If you're going to do it all year.
See it all the way
See
through.
it through. See it through.
True. I think it's also important that we empower our communities. You know, if maybe your strategy is to give people food, maybe teach people how to farm and create their own little, you know, flower patches, or, you know,
it's like
vegetable
urban farming.
patches. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's becoming a thing in the city, in Joburg specifically, that I've seen in some parts. I think, you know, either that or, you know, empowering different people with skills and saying, okay, we can do some network, we can do something so that people feel empowered as well. There's nothing as, you know, heartbreaking as having to wait until just that day for you to feel like, oh, okay, I am cared for, I am looked
And I
after.
matter.
Yeah, and I matter.
Yeah.
Very true.
I really think people, we have to, and you know the thing, we see it all the time, right? Particularly on Twitter. Corporates hate Twitter scandals. They don't want to be pulled into that sort of stuff. So good people, Kofifi listeners, let's create a Twitter scandal. Tweet these really big corporates, right? The ones who went out yesterday and did what they did. Tweet them and say, we like that you came to our community. When are you coming back?
Yes.
And put pressure on them.
Exactly.
Put pressure on them. Guaranteed, hand on heart, they will not ignore those tweets.
They will jump at the opportunity. And it's very true because you think of, many different, Nelson Mandela was such a big icon the world over.
Yeah.
And the idea that, he lived on the principle of a fair and just South Africa. It's important that we try and live up to, I think it's also the small things that you do every day. If you're able to, assist a friend, to be available to someone, that's another way of being, in providing some kind of important availability to someone. So I think we need to really, really, really think of these kinds of things whenever.
And beyond 67 minutes.
Come on. He would sit back. I hope he's not turning in his grave.
He's
right now
watching us from above, like, you guys tried it.
I think there are some people having nightmares when they think of Nelson Mandela. They're like, oh, I promise I'll do it. I'll do it. So I think it's incredibly important that we, do better. And I know we can. I believe in this South Africa. I really do, Blanca. I think there's hope. We really can do this. We just need to kind of clean out the mess, mess that just keeps marring our minds.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I agree.
We can only hope it gets better from here onwards. It is currently 13:40. It is the vibe right here on Kofifi FM 97.2, where it all began.
The curante, man. I want to know what's going on. Good evening. South Africa has witnessed the 8th wonder of the world, the State Capture Report, which the website saw more traffic than Grayston Drive during peak hours. Beyonce's Lemonade album did not get as much views as Tuli with the Good Hairs State Capture Report did. She wrote about 305 pages of incriminating evidence, which put a tear in the eye of Brian Molefe. He has now learned that Tuli Madonsela is not the person you play Suk Banana with, because she is a champion. And one more thing, if Sex and World Shabeen is a real thing, then Father Christmas, the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, and Pokemon are real too. Perhaps that's what Brian was doing. He was catching Pokemon, a Guptasaurus. I'm gonna do it. Thank you.
Yes, like het my bro Abdulsie.
Away, my
Kijk, die
bro.
stits is hier in my bienen.
Hoe lijkt hulle, my bro?
Nee, volgend op by die blerie hond, my mosman.
Yo, my bro het sy arm iets opgesit.
Nee, die blerie dinge het sommer plein gevat.
The curante, man. I want to know what's going on. Good evening. South Africa has witnessed the 8th wonder of the world, the State Capture Report, which the website saw more traffic than Grayston Drive during peak hours. Beyonce's Lemonade album did not get as much views as Tuli with the Good Hairs State Capture Report did. She wrote about 305 pages of incriminating evidence, which put a tear in the eye of Brian Molefe. He has now learned that Tuli Madonsela is not the person you play Suk Banana with, because she is a champion. And one more thing, if Sex and World Shabeen is a real thing, then Father Christmas, the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, and Pokemon are real too. Perhaps that's what Brian was doing. He was catching Pokemon, a Guptasaurus. I'm gonna do it. Thank you.
7.2.
Ooh, love that sound, right? Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Get your coin.
You're a money savvy with Blanca and Jay, still on the vibe on Kofifi FM 97.2. So, Jay.
Yes, babe.
I started this thing called the 2017 Flip Challenge. I was a little bit late to the game, right? Technically, you should have started at the beginning of 2017. I was a whole 7 months late.
Never too late to start.
Never too late. Basically, it's a concept derived by someone I admire greatly, Gary Vaynerchuk. We played his clip before. He gives a lot of great financial advice, real financial advice, not like that, like stocks and bonds stuff.
Jeez, yeah. That's so higher grade sometimes.
It is a bit higher grade for us, right? And he says the number one question he always gets asked is, Gary, how do I make money fast? That's what we all want, right?
True,
we want money in the pocket.
And now.
We live in the age of like instant gratification. So he was like, you know what? The only way you make money fast is to sell something. Literally, it's as simple as that. So he started this thing called the 2017 Flip Challenge, and basically it means flip some stuff. Everybody has a whole lot of junk lying around their houses, right?
True.
Things you haven't touched in years. He's like, you want some quick cash, sell your junk. So I did just that.
What?
I went into the deepest, darkest depths of my wardrobe. I have shoes. I have a bit of a problem, right?
Oh, yeah.
I have shoes for days.
She is also a model, ladies and gentlemen.
So it explains it. It's justified.
Yeah.
It's justified.
Yes.
Yeah. But basically, I looked at my shoes and I said, you know what? If there's something I haven't worn in the past 6 months, it probably means I'm not going to wear it. And I had shoes I hadn't even worn in like 2 years.
Wow.
And I collected about 12, 13 pairs of shoes, posted them on Facebook, right? Guys, don't sleep on Facebook. Okay. And we do know, did you see that report that Facebook officially hit 2 billion registered users?
That is insane.
So listen, if you want to sell something, you have access to 2 billion people. Don't sleep on it. There's a group anyway on Facebook, I digress, called Secondhand Goods Johannesburg. They've got like 130,000 users.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I posted my heels on this book, on this group on Facebook. And listen, the response was through the roof. I was getting inboxes galore. So literally I posted on Thursday night. By Sunday, I had sold all my shoes. I made 3,000 in cash.
Get out.
2017 Flip Challenge. So listen, people, if you want to make some cash and you like the sound of cha-ching, go dig out your old junk and post it on Facebook. Sell it.
So, okay. So what are the terms and conditions, in terms of posting? What does one need to do?
The thing about it, most of these groups are an invite sort of thing, but chances are one of your friends will be in those groups. You get your friend to basically invite you to the group. And once you're there, listen, you post it and you listen.
Then you got some ka-ching-a-ling.
Listen, ka-ching. I couldn't believe it. On Sunday, I was just like, is this me right now with a stack
I've got
of cash
money in the middle of the month?
from things I hadn't touched in months.
That's
months.
amazing.
So that's our money savvy tip, Kofifi listeners. We all like to have like a little ka-ching, right?
Yeah.
Collect your old junk, give it a
Post
wipe
it.
down,
Yes.
take a nice picture, post it, and
Picture quality is also important.
picture quality does matter.
Yeah, because
Listen.
in the angles, guys, get your angles right.
Daylight
Yes.
works. I took pictures of those shoes in the daylight, and listen, they were loving it. But I must say something else, right? And it's something very important. Stranger danger is real. So if you are posting on Gumtree and Facebook and all these sort of sites, please, what I did this weekend is that I met all these people in the mall parking lot. Don't invite them to your house and don't go to their houses.
Okay, that's a good tip.
Public spaces are great,
Yes.
but don't sleep on the opportunities available to you.
I
you
like
know?
that.
And
That's a
don't-
very smart tip.
Don't cry about being broke when you've got some things to sell too.
Now I've decided if anyone ever complains about being broke, I'm like, let's go to your closet right now.
Thank you.
There's some treasures laying in there. I like
Yes,
that tip,
indeed.
Blanca. Wow.
Yes,
It is
indeed.
almost
2017 Flip Challenge. So
right.
actually something I want the Kofifi listeners to do is post on Facebook. Tell us
Yes.
if you actually take us up on the 2017 Flip Challenge. We'd like to hear from you. We'd like to hear how much you've made.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can take us out for lunch. I mean, we are your midweek lunchtime buddies.
And we hungry.
And we gave you some tips. Come on, reward us with a little lunch, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's currently, almost 10 to 2. We've been having a fantastic time. Like, our day is drawing our
Time
slot.
just flies.
Right? When you're having a really good time. But it's almost, I think I enjoy it. It's easier when you're doing it with someone you enjoy their company. I don't know if I would do it with someone else.
Oh, I love you,
I'm being cheesy. I'm being cheesy. Yes, yes. It's because I'm hungry and someone has 3K in their pocket.
Last night, the president apparently starting.
Basta curante, man. I want to know what's going on. Good news. Mugabe has decided that he will retire. The catch is in the year 2023. The dude is 94 and he's planning on retiring after 6 years. He will be 100. My grandfather retired when he was 90 and he picked up a hobby, pottery, and that was okay. But now when you're 100 and you retire, the only hobby you can pick up is breathing. Because one thing's for sure, Alzheimer's and calligraphy do not go hand in hand. With Trump as president, a question remains. Do billionaires make good presidents? That's a question for Zimbabweans to answer. I think I might give away $1 billion today. Isn't that right, Zimbabwe? Billionaire status. No, you're still broke. Basta curante, man. I want to know what's going on. Good evening. South Africa has witnessed the 8th wonder of the world, the state capture report, which the website saw more traffic than Grayston Drive during peak hours. Beyonce's Lemonade album did not get as much views as Thuli with the Good Hairs state capture report did. She wrote about 105 pages of incriminating evidence, which put a tear in the eye of Brian Molefe. He has now learned that Thuli Madonsela is not the person you play Sook Banana with, because she is a champion. And one more thing, if Sex and World Shabine is a real thing, then Father Christmas, the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, and Pokemon are real too. Perhaps that's what Brian was doing. He was catching Pokemon, a Guptasaurus. I'm gonna do it. Thank you.
Finalist in this year's Miss Josie pageant. She would like to be Miss Josie 2017 and she needs your help. Please vote for her via SMS. Send Miss Josie Theo to 33282. That is 33282. All SMSs cost 150. Voting lines close on the 31st of July at 11 p.m. Please vote for Theoline to be your next Miss Josie.
Kofifi Landers, get it off your chest and speak your mind.
All right, Kofifi Landers. It's getting a little bit serious in studio right now. Just a little bit. So I saw a video yesterday on Instagram that really troubled me. Cece Worldwide, you know her. She was a finalist on that reality show, Top Actor.
Oh, yes.
And then she became a recording artist under Arthur Mafukate. I follow her on Instagram. I love her. I think she's fabulous.
Yeah.
And she posted a video basically of her on her recovery journey. We saw in the media a few weeks ago that she basically accused Arthur of beating her up. And I feel like the story kind of fell out of media for a little bit. And I was shocked to see this video because basically it's her doing rehabilitation. She had to have a pelvic replacement operation after, well, she alleges he dragged her with his car. Basically, she was opening the car door or something like that, and he sped off and dragged her, but she was injured really badly. And it saddens me that it's a constant narrative in South Africa of men abusing women.
Yeah, it also struck a chord with me. I mean, if you have to hurt someone to the point where they have to learn how to walk again, that's incredibly heartbreaking.
It really is. It really is. And we need accountability. You see, I think my issue is this. We need accountability. So Cece has laid charges. I believe Arthur's also laid charges against her.
I wonder
the pictures and videos don't lie.
True.
You
really have to put yourself through a lot to have to accuse someone of hurting you. I mean, the fact that you have to then relearn how to walk means that, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
you'd have to be really crazy to put your body through that.
So from us at The Vibe, we're sending well wishes to Cece on her journey to recovery.
The story really also kind of, reminded me. The late Karabo Mokwena was also a very good friend of mine. We used to work together. We went to the same prayer group. And I think of people like her whenever I see stories like these. And every time I'm marred by the image of a battered face. It stays with you for the longest time. And I still haven't kind of had the opportunity to also mourn her death. It kind of feels like she's going to call back and say, hey, I'm fine. So I understand. I mean, the idea that at least Cece got to survive speaks also to the idea that anyone who's in a similar situation, you still have the opportunity to leave.
And don't keep it a secret. If you're being abused in your relationship, we understand sometimes it's not that easy maybe to tell your parents or but you have girlfriends, you have cousins, brothers, but tell somebody. Don't withstand the abuse and end up like we so tragically see so many South African women end up battered, bruised, dead. We
don't want that. I think it's really also important to kind of raise our boys a little differently and kind of socialize them into society in such a way that they are okay with being rejected. It doesn't mean that you are less of a man because someone said no. Actually, saying no means they are honest enough to even tell you that they don't want it. So I think it's important to raise our men a little differently in terms of how we bring them into or raise them into the world and bring them into the world and say, guys, you're still a man.
I would also like to see men please take action against other men, because I feel like this is a fight women are always fighting.
Very true.
Women are always fighting for other women. Women have to fight men. I would like to see all the upstanding men in our communities. You guys also know that some of your own friends are abusers, and maybe not just physical abuse, but you see it, the mental abuse, the verbal abuse. You see it, you hear it. Just because it's your friend, your brother, your colleague, don't be quiet. Don't keep quiet about it.
Don't.
Point it out. True. Shame each other into becoming better men. That's all I can ask for our brothers. Please love us and stop hurting us.
Because y'all are too beautiful. We can't just do that to our women. And, I hope this will obviously, continue. I think it's also important that we continue to have the conversation.
Yeah.
And we continue to shed the light on such issues. And we hope today has been nothing short of amazing. Nothing short of amazing.
Yeah. I had a good time with you, Jay.
I sure did. Can't wait to go spend my friends 3,000 rands.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a fantastic day, and we will see you very soon next week.
Next Wednesday.